Morning, Coach.
Good morning.
We'll get started with Reuben Frank and then Bo Wolf.
All right.
How's it going, Doug?
Great.
Hey, without preseason games and with all your new assistant coaches, how do you prepare for the whole game day operation as far as communication with all the coaches, and how's that going to work?
Well, I mean, like any season, I have communications with my coaches. I lay out their job descriptions, not only in from a game planning standpoint, but also on game day, and walk through who the guys are going to be on the sideline, who the guys are going to be in the box, and their responsibilities there. Obviously, with with COVID and with the new protocols and things, there are some limitations to who's upstairs and who's downstairs. But I've had all that covered, throughout training camp.
Go ahead, Bo, and then Zach.
Hey, Doug, I'm just curious. There are some of these after effects of COVID. I'm just curious, how are you feeling physically? Have you felt any of those after effects?
Well, thank you so much for asking. I do appreciate it. I've been feeling really good. Nothing's lingered. All the things that I was feeling for those 6 or 7 days there have gone away, and feel really good. Looking forward to kicking off this season.
Doug, in Miles Sanders' case, the fact that he did not have really a training camp for you, do you have to manage his workload early in the season?
I think it goes back to even last year when he missed some time, and we managed him, to get him ready to play. I do think there's some possibilities. That is a possibility. We'll get him through this week, see how he does, and see where he's at on Sunday.
Let's go Les and then Paul Domowich.
Les, can't hear you, Les.
Sorry.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. We talked to Jim Schwartz yesterday about preparing for an opponent that you haven't. New systems, new coaching staff, very, very a lot of unknowns, I guess. How does that affect you? Does that make you think, I'll just try to do what we do here and not worry about them, or how do you approach it?
Yeah, there is a little fine line there. I mean, we got to continue to do what we do, and within the rules that we've put in place. I think with all three phases of our game, we have to go back and we have to obviously kind of re-scout Coach Rivera and Coach Del Rio and kind of see if there's any similarities or possible crossover. Plus, we can go back and watch our games and just watch personnel, the guys that came back this year, guys that are on the roster, that are going to be playing. There is some unknown, obviously, with new coaches, staffs, and new schemes, and this is where we have to trust what we do and our skill set, trust our players, and make those in-game adjustments as we go.
Go ahead, Paul, and then Tim McManus.
Yeah, Doug, about a week ago, the league was still trying to decide on the decibel level for the piped-in crowd noise for games with no fans. Do you know now what it's going to be like, and what, if any, effect is it going to have? I mean, I assume you don't need silent counts and things like that with the noise level you're going to be facing. Yeah,
this is why we did our scrimmage at the link, a week or so ago to try the crowd noise and not sure if you were at the scrimmage or not, but if what you heard in stadium is about the level of the noise, we did hear that potentially a little bit less than that. But I was on the field and really had no issues hearing the communication. We still have to be smart with our cadences. We don't want to. We got to mix things up. Obviously, communication. A lot of nonverbal, probably more so. Having more nonverbal communication just because of having the lack of crowd noise, so that teams don't pick up on things that we're trying to do, offensively or defensively.
Tim, and then Mike K.
Doug, I was wondering if you could talk about your relationship with Ron Rivera and your thoughts on kind of watching him do his job from afar while also dealing with health issues.
Yeah, obviously my relationship with Ron goes all the way back to when I was a player for Andy Reid here back in 1999, when he was on Coach Reid's staff, back then, and that's when I first got to know him, and then obviously as my career ended and got into coaching, and saw him from time to time over the years. Always had a lot of respect for he and obviously his wife, and the things that he's done. He is one of those coaches that I sort of look to and study and see how he's approached things with his team, whether I listen to a press conference or talk to him at league meetings, whatever it might be. And had a lot of respect for him and what he's done. He's been an outstanding coach in this league, obviously taking a team to the Super Bowl, and so he knows how to do it, and he does it the right way. Got a lot of respect for him. And then obviously what he's going through right now, I know it's got to be tough on him to be able to lead the team, but I know he's going to do his best to continue to stay out in front, do what he needs to do to stay healthy, and be back out on that sideline. Expect to see him, Sunday, and hopefully I get a chance to visit with him if possible, and continue to pray for him, and hope he recovers and heals 100%.
Mike, and then Dave.
We saw Deshaun Jackson take more of a leadership role, I guess, than we probably have in years past this offseason. What's impressed you about him from a leadership standpoint, especially with the 3 rookie wide receivers and Greg Ward and all those guys coming in?
Yeah, Deshaun has done an outstanding job for us, not only, as a player, but now, probably more so in this role. I think Deshaun knows that, where he is in his career and those that have kind of mentored him along the way, and now he's kind of in that same role where he can mentor these young guys, and it's one of the things that I take notice of with him out at practice, being able to talk to our young players and young receivers and teach them the game. And Deshaun has always played it at an extremely high level. He's a great pro, takes his job seriously, and that's what he's instilling in our young players now.
Dave, and then John Clark.
Hey, Doug. Good morning. As Matt Pryor got his experience last year in the playoff game, how much does that help him, and how much does it help you guys to have that evaluation and the things that you asked him to improve upon from that game? How has he been able to do that?
Yeah, that was obviously valuable experience for him, to step in and play that right guard position. He's comfortable over there. He and Lane work well together. And did last year and whatnot, and hopefully he continues to grow in that position, and he's a big man, he's a physical man, he's done a nice job there, having played the position gives him that experience moving forward, and hopefully he can really take it and just kind of roll with it, and embrace the opportunity that he has in front of him, and this will be really good for him.
John, and then Ed Kratz.
Morning, Doug. Do you expect to have Lane Johnson out there Sunday?
John, nice tie.
Thank you. Up early.
Man. Lane's going to work today individually out at practice. He's a guy that's day to day. We'll see where he's at the end of the week. But he's doing well. I'll just kind of update you, I guess, on he and Miles Sanders, the guys that are going to be working, that are day to day. Obviously, you'll get a report at the end of today's practice. But these guys, you'll see these guys out there today working, and as we approach Sunday.
How much of a concern would it be if Lane is not able to go with the injuries you already have on the O-line?
Yeah, I mean, Lane's a valuable piece to our offensive line, and but yet we got to prepare everybody if Lane's not available, and we got to get our young guys ready to go, and this is why we when we select offensive linemen, we look for guys that can play both left and right side, can play inside and outside, and we got some young players there that we'll have ready. So we'll see where Lane's at today, and hopefully he'll progress in the right direction.
Go ahead, Ed, and then John McMullen.
Hey, Doug. Just sticking to that offensive line theme, what with so many changes, a couple changes there at left tackle and right guard. I mean, how much more valuable if any, does that make someone like Jason Kelce at center? And what, he's getting ready to start his 10th season, I believe, or 11th season. I mean, how valuable has he been as kind of the anchor of that line?
I mean, you're absolutely right. He's been the anchor of that offensive line, and his his availability to play year in and year out, to be the starter, it's impeccable. And we ask a lot of him, obviously with communication and what he sees defensively, to make all the calls. So having him anchor that offensive line goes a long way for the success of that group.
Go ahead, John, and then Martin.
Good morning, Doug. Wanted to talk to you about typically coaches like structure, and you learned under Andy, who probably has his schedules worked out, to 2024, but all the uncertainty and how he kind of mentioned it when he talked to us, you guys have kind of embraced it. Now that you look back on this whole process, how difficult has it been to you to not have those constants, to not have that, to have to change everything?
Well, I do think that, obviously it's like I tell the players all the time. You got to remain flexible, right? You got to understand that things can change, and obviously, and this approach started back when we left the building back on like March 13th, when we had to exit the building due to the pandemic and start working from home. We knew at that particular time that things were going to be different for this, not only the off season, but training camp and into the regular season. So, a lot of the scheduling and a lot of things that I've had to do, I just know that things can change and you have to adapt. And, our players are resilient that way. And it's no different, if a player gets hurt, we got to coach the next guy. It's no different if a protocol changes. We got to coach up the next protocol in the line of protocols, so you got to stay flexible. You got to stay, you got to have a little bit of a sense of humor with all of this, have fun with it, and make sure that everything's well thought out and well planned out. I'm just fortunate to not have to do it all myself. I got a great support staff to help me with all of this, and we hopefully we don't have to make too many more changes.
We got time for one more, so we'll wrap it up with Martin here.
Oh, hey, Doug. I was wondering, like, how much you're looking forward to, seeing your new pieces on Sunday. Specifically guys like Darius Slay. You could even include Deshaun in there because probably he only played the one game last year, and your rookies. I mean, just unveiling all these.
It's a great question. And I am excited. This is the first time to get our guys out on the field, obviously, in game uniform against another opponent. It's going to be fun this week in our preparation, but to watch these guys, to perform and guys like Darius Slay and Nicole Roby-Coleman and guys that we brought onto our team, to help us. It'll be exciting to watch them and to see how they blend, with our guys from last year, and then of course our young players that get a chance to play. Hopefully, I guess the biggest thing is that things aren't too big for them, and they can embrace it and have fun. That's the bottom line, and but I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.